Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little review and comparison of the Canon G7x Mark II versus the iPhone 12. Phone cameras have just gotten so good in recent years that at this point you might be wondering, should I even bother getting a camera or can I just use my phone? Or maybe you have an older phone and you're wondering if you should bother getting a camera or just upgrade your phone. So today I'm going to talk about how they compare and kind of give you my opinions on the two. And guys, we're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, so if you are new, make sure that you subscribe. Okay, I'm gonna hop into the video, but before I do, don't forget to hit the like button. So let's start with just basic natural lighting. I'm just sitting in front of a window right now. I do have one studio light over here, but I will turn it off just so you can see what the Canon G7X looks like when you're just kind of sitting in front of natural lighting. Okay, so this is just me sitting in front of a window with the Canon G7X Mark II. I'm using the... What am I using? I'm using the custom mode, which I think looks really nice. It just gives you kind of a little bit of a filter and just customizes all of the settings to your scenery and what you're filming, so it looks really nice. What I like about this camera is the lighting is really good. Like right now in my room it's honestly pretty dark, like I just have a tiny little window, but this camera does really well with low light, so that's one of the reasons why I really like it. And it's also really good with autofocus and like tracking your face and everything like that. So that's why I think it's a really good beginner camera, because when you're starting out you don't typically have studio lights or like expensive lighting equipment yet, so I think natural light is a great option, and I want to show you how these two perform with natural light. Okay, and then this is me filming on the iPhone 12. Again, I'm sitting in the exact same spot. I'm just sitting in front of a window, and from what I can tell, the quality is pretty good, but it's just not as sharp or as clear as the Canon quality. But honestly, for a beginner camera, I think this is perfect. I think cameras have gotten so good these days that you don't need a camera to start a channel. I do like the weird filter it's giving me. I do like the way that it looks, so yeah. And I'm gonna be using like the selfie camera because when you're just kind of holding your phone up like this to vlog or to film, and let's say you don't have a tripod, like I don't have a tripod for this, I am not gonna be able to use the back camera, if that makes sense, unless I have like a little setup with maybe like a mirror or something, because you do want to be able to see yourself and make sure that you're in frame and everything like that. And then I will insert a clip of them side by side so you can kind of see how they compare. And then next I do want to shoot in sort of low lighting so you can see. So I'm just in my house and the lighting isn't great because I'm not in front of a window or anything. I'm just kind of sitting in front of a door, and I want to show you what that looks like with the Canon G7X Mark II versus the iPhone. And then next I'm going to show you how these two look under fluorescent lighting. The light in my kitchen is fluorescent, and same with the light in my bathroom. And honestly, the Canon G7X Mark II, I don't love how it performs with fluorescent lighting. It always does these weird like lines at first, and I have to wait for it to be done with that and then delete that clip and then start filming, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm curious to see like how the iPhone performs under fluorescent lighting. Again, these shots are all going to be using the front facing camera or the selfie camera of the iPhone 12. And I'm gonna go outside just so you guys can see what it would look like if you were like outdoors or if you were vlogging outside. And I do really like the way the G7X Mark II looks outside. I think it looks really good. And there is this one setting where you can kind of, I think it's called customize, where it just customizes everything to make it look really good. It's kind of like an auto filter, if you will. And I think that setting works really well outside. It just gives all of the colors a really nice look. And then this is what the iPhone 12 looks like outdoors. And I'm going to be showing you guys two different views. One of sort of like a selfie view, like if I was vlogging outside. And then I also want to show you what it looks like if you're just filming like landscape or not people, essentially. Now what's cool about the iPhone 12 is you can actually switch to the wide angle lens, and that just gives it a really cool look, especially if you're trying to capture more of the scenery or more of the landscape or whatever. It just makes it look really cool. And one thing I like to do when I'm doing that is you can actually switch back and forth while you're filming in video, and I think that looks really fun. I think it's like a really nice and cool feature. And also with the iPhone 12, if you are looking to start YouTube and Instagram, what's great is that the wide angle lens is really good for Instagram pictures. It just gives you like more options. Like you can just use the regular camera or the wide angle lens and it would just make you look like skinnier, and you know, I don't know, I'm really into it. And you can also use portrait mode just to make the background look really blurry if you want like a really nice picture. And then I want to show you guys how they compare for B-rolls. One thing that's cool about the Canon G7X is sometimes when I'm filming B-rolls or I'm like doing a close-up, it will just blur out the background entirely and it just looks so good and so like cinematic for such an inexpensive camera. Don't know if you can, I don't think you can do that with the iPhone 12 though, because I don't think you can use portrait mode when you're in film, like when you're filming a video. I think you can only use it for pictures, so that's kind of the negative side. And one thing I do want to say is I love filming with the iPhone when I'm out, like if I'm getting coffee, if I'm at Target. It's so much easier to whip out your phone and like just start filming because it's way less embarrassing rather than whipping out like a full-on camera and you're like, you know, it's a little bit more embarrassing and people are more likely to kind of stare at you if you're doing that, versus if I'm just kind of like, you know, doing this with my phone, or if I'm like filming with my phone, no one really like thinks twice about it. So that's the only thing. And then lastly, I want to show you the audio difference. Right now, the camera I'm filming on is actually the Canon M50, but I'm gonna switch over to the audio. And the reason is because I have a microphone on it and I think the audio sounds really, really good. And this is also what the audio sounds like. Then I'll switch over to the audio of the iPhone 12. Okay, and then this is what the audio of the iPhone 12 sounds like. And that's the other thing. If you just have an iPhone and you're like, I want to make my videos better, but I don't necessarily want to spend a bunch of money and get a new camera, what you can do is actually just get this microphone and it's going to improve the audio of your videos so much. And I think that's really important when you're starting out. People on YouTube are super picky when it comes to audio, sometimes even more so than the like quality of the actual video. So if you're looking for like an inexpensive quick way to just upgrade your quality, then I think a tiny microphone, I think I got mine for like 30 bucks or something like that. It's gonna really make a huge difference. Personally, I think if you already have an iPhone 12, I would just start with that because I do think the quality is good enough. I know that the Canon, I think the quality looks a little bit better, but the fun thing about the iPhone footage is it kind of gives you a natural filter. I don't think the quality is as good as the Canon G7X Mark II, but I think if you're starting out and this is what you have, then just start with that. And then maybe after you have 1 or 2 videos and you realize that you do like making videos, you want to continue and be more serious, then I would get the microphone for the iPhone, because this microphone works with either a camera, like a DSLR, or a phone. So you can just upgrade your audio and make your videos instantly better and then kind of go from there, see how you feel. Honestly, I love this camera. Mine is super beat up. There's literally tape on it because the screws came out, but I had it for years. I loved it. I took it everywhere. I'm not as embarrassed to vlog with this outside as I am with like the Canon M50 because it's like a little bit bigger. I think the only downside is the quality isn't as good as the M50 and also the audio. You can't plug a microphone into this, so the audio that you get is just the audio that you get, which is, again, honestly fine when you're starting out. And you know, so many people just use that camera and they're fine. Their channels are doing great. So it isn't always about the equipment. It's really more about your content. That's really what matters. I do know that the Canon G7X Mark III does have an audio jack, so you can have like a microphone, but a lot of people have been complaining about the autofocus issues with the Canon G7X Mark III. So I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, I would say start out with what you have. If it's a phone, just start out with that. And then once you kind of get into it and you find that you really like it, get the microphone. And then after that, if you start to make more content and you're like, yeah, I need the camera, I want to make my videos better, then bite the bullet and get it. I don't ever want to recommend that you just buy a bunch of crap before you start YouTube, only to find out that, you know what, you hate making videos and you don't actually want to do this. So yeah, just start with what you have and start today. Don't wait until you have all the perfect equipment, because that's never ever gonna happen. Every time I get a new camera, I'm so excited about it for like the first 2 weeks, and then I start looking at new cameras right after that, because it's just human nature. We always want to upgrade, we always want better quality, but the best camera is always what you have. So just work with it first, and that's a really important thing working with what you have or borrowing from a friend or renting things. With YouTube, it can be really expensive to just buy everything that you need. Like for this video, I'm literally using Josh's phone. You guys, I have an iPhone 7, literally. I don't even have an iPhone 12. But it's a really good thing to do, just be resourceful, because it's gonna really help you with your YouTube channel to be resourceful and just find ways to get what you need without paying for it. Alright guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you like it, make sure to hit the like button, and yeah, let me know what you see next, and I will see you next time. Bye!